You know, I don't think I have a for example, if it were raining outside and I were caught in my car, I just realized I don't have an umbrella, so I need to buy something. I heard the thunder rumbling outside and I'm like, "Oh shoot, it's raining." And I have no answer to that. I'm unprepared for this status in the weather. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, we're continuing on with Danganronpa. Hold on. I need to refresh my window just to make sure I'm live. Looks like I am. Okay, let's do this. I need to explore the school because something's going down and I'm not sure what. Oh yeah, I'm looking for people, that's right. People didn't show up at the morning breakfast like they usually do. This blackboard belongs to us? That's nope. That's nothing. We got nothing here. Alright, I'm just gonna look around. Maybe this classroom. We're looking for Taka, we're looking for Celeste, we're looking for Hifumi. And I see none of them here. Oh gosh! Okay, I was not expecting that. That was Hina. She's supposed to be checking the third floor. There's no time to think. I was running for the stairs before I knew what was happening. I flew up the stairs leading up to the third floor. Right away, I saw her standing there in the hallway.
Please!
Makoto! Hina, what's wrong? It's awful. The rec room door was open, and when I looked inside, I saw... What did you see? I'd better get the others, right? I'm gonna go get them. You go on ahead, Makoto. Before I could say anything, she was rushing downstairs. The rec room? What did she see in there? By this point, I was used to acting without thinking. So without thinking, I leapt into the rec room. The first thing I saw when I got into the rec room was... Oh, shoot. It was Celeste, and she was hurt. She got attacked. That's why she wasn't there at breakfast. What's that on the ground right there? What is this? Some kind of wooden hammer or something? Pretty strange design. It says Justice Hammer. Justice Hammer 1. That is the hammer he attacked me with. I barely managed to avoid the blow, but I stumbled and fell. I now curse my lack of daily exercise. So you were attacked with this? Justice Hammer 1. Who's he? Makoto. Celeste, what happened? I was stupid. I got attacked. Attacked? By who? I'm not sure. Some sort of strange man. Strange man? A suspicious person whose existence is so unusual. I can't help but call him strange. Without a doubt, it was some sort of strange, suspicious individual. And that man attacked me with the hammer on the ground there. Makoto! Celeste! Okay, they're here. That's cool. I found Sakura!
What?
Celeste, what on earth happened here? Apparently she was attacked by some kind of strange man. A strange man? Tell us everything you can remember, Celeste. Be as detailed as you can. Well, I woke up this morning a little before 7 a.m. Nighttime was not yet over. But I knew it was about to end, so I decided it would be okay if I decided to take a little stroll around the first floor. I understand now that that was a mistake. Anyway, that is where I first saw the strange man. I was immediately wary of him. He was obviously suspicious, so I decided to follow him. After him in secret. As I followed, I saw him go into the rec room. I tried to peek through the gap in the door, which is when he noticed me, and that's when you were attacked. It happened after 7 a.m., just after nighttime had ended. So if it happened just after 7 o'clock, then that was just about an hour ago, right when we were all meeting in the dining hall. The attack caused me to lose consciousness, which would mean I was unconscious for about an hour.
But...
Well, I'm just glad you weren't hurt too badly. That is because I begged and groveled for my life. You did?
As for me...
I told him I would do anything if he spared me. I offered to lick his boots, whatever it took.
I see.
So you were willing to throw away all your pride.
Indeed.
It is a necessary skill for survival. Now you don't look as beaten up. The scratches went away. Anyway, the important thing now is that we go search for the suspicious individual. If we do not hurry, this could become a serious problem. Celeste, what do you mean by serious problem? Isn't it obvious? Someone's gonna die. When I looked into the rec room, I saw that the suspicious man was not alone. He had with him Hifumi. Hifumi? After he attacked me, he dragged Hifumi away.
What?
You mean Hifumi was kidnapped? Shouldn't we start looking for him then? And Celeste, did anything in particular stand out about this strange guy? Anything stand out? Well, rather than trying to explain it, it would probably be faster if I simply showed you. Show us. Oh shoot, she has a picture!
Actually,
I was able to photograph the suspicious individual without him realizing it. I would tell you not to be shocked, but I fear it would do you no good. With that strange comment in mind, we all looked at the camera. Oh shoot, okay. Well, you're definitely right about that strange part. Their face is totally covered. I mean, who else would this be, right? Like, this could be Taka, this could be fortune teller dude. Is that a robot costume? As I said, a very strange and suspicious individual, yes. So this weird robot guy dragged Hifumi away? And I took this right after being attacked. In other words, a full hour ago. Which is why if we don't hurry, it could become a serious problem.
I see.
I believe I understand what happened. Well, no, there is much I don't understand, but... The point is, someone dressed like that dragged Hifumi away. Okay, yeah, let's... And it happened over an hour ago. That's crazy. RJLJ? On the robot arm, chest, shoulder?
just a second.
This is bad. We have to hurry. Celeste, do you know where this mysterious man went?
Let's see.
When they left the rec room, they headed left.
I see.
That's true. They were headed down, or they were headed toward the stairs leading down to the second floor. You must be down there, right? The second floor. That's where Kyoko is supposed to be. Speaking of which, why isn't Kyoko here? Sorry, I didn't have time to go look for her.
This is
bad. The strange man did head to the second floor. Kyoko might run into him. We have to hurry. Kyoko's in danger. As soon as the words were out of my mouth, we all rushed out of the room and down to the second floor. Hey, you two.
What?
What's going on? What's all the fuss? Are you guys playing a game or something? Okay, those two are just hanging out now. Does it freaking look like we're playing a game? Listen, have either of you seen Kyoko or Hifumi?
You gotta be kidding.
Nope, sure haven't. Are they on this floor? We just got here ourselves. I heard some kind of uproar, so I came running. We came here together. Okay. You're just stalking me. Anyway, can you guys help us look for them?
What?
Why? What happened? There's no time now. We'll explain later. Well, fine. It looks like something interesting is going on.
Okay.
Hifumi, Kyoko, if you can hear me, say something. The voice echoed down the hall in vain.
Oh.
Did you hear something? Maybe.
perhaps.
I think it came from the library. The library? Okay, let's go. We ran to the library as fast as our legs would carry us. When we opened the doors to the library... Oh, shoot. Okay, so he was attacked as well. We found Hifumi seriously injured. Are you okay? I'm glad to see you're still alive. Super bad, though. Look at all the blood.
What?
Did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice. That's why I decided to call him anyway.
What did you say?
What are you talking about? There's another hammer. It's a hammer, just like the one Celeste was attacked with in the rec room, but this one is Justice Hammer 2. I feel like this is very obviously Taka, but obviously on purpose. I don't know, that's kind of what the last trial was like. He attacked me with that hammer. He bonked me right on the head with it.
Well.
A hammer that big, I'm surprised you're still okay. I'm not okay, look at all this blood.
Hey,
Protein helps heal wounds, you know. Would you like some? I've never heard such a thing. Are you sure it isn't just you? Oh, yeah. What do you think? I'm seriously happy Hifumi's still alive, but Robo Justice? This just keeps getting stranger. That guy was Robo Justice.
Indeed.
This Robo Justice you are referring to is this... Is it not?
What
Oh,
the
is
hell
this,
am I
is it
looking
not?
at?
This is the one that attacked Celeste and Hifumi. Isn't that right, Hifumi? Yeah, that's him, I'm sure of it. Robo Justice.
It can't be.
Robo Justice, huh?
Damn.
Just keeps getting stranger. Okay. Here he is, a robot of justice, huh? Now things are really starting to get exciting. What kind of special moves does it have? Can it fly? Can it combine? Okay, he just added his commentary, then dipped.
Are you okay?
Let
with
us not
this?
concern ourselves with him. What we need to do now is get Hifumi to the nurse's office right away. Whatever else we do, he needs to be treated as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You're right, let's go. Thanks, everyone. We moved Hifumi to the nurse's office on the first floor, so we could take care of his injuries. How are you feeling, Hifumi? You want me to take a look at you? I'm okay, I think it stopped bleeding. Okay, so wow, he actually still lives. I thought he was gone for sure. Still kind of dizzy though.
So then.
Perhaps you should rest here a while.
I.
Yeah, good idea.
Well then.
The rest of us should get back to looking for that mystery assailant.
Yes.
Indeed. Before another victim appears. The Justice Hammers seem to be increasing in size. First one and now two. We need to find Taco, we need to find Dude. Fortune Teller Dude.
So in
Get his
other
name.
words,
There is a Justice Hammer 3. We can only assume it is bigger than the first two. If you got hit with anything bigger than that, you'd be dead for sure. Tell us what happened to you, Hifumi. Well, I woke up early this morning and started looking for Alter Ego ahead of anyone else, or everyone else. I went to the third floor, and that's where the strange costumed man attacked me. That must be what I witnessed around 7 this morning. After that, he dragged me to the library, and whack, down came the hammer. That must have been 30 or 40 minutes ago. At around 7:30, in other words, we would have still been in the dining hall. Which means Hina, Sakura, and I were together, and Kyoko was still with us. So we all have alibis. I was in the laundry room doing my laundry. His black underwear is as black as the pitch black darkness of the blackest night. Okay, weird, creepy girl.
what?
Why do you know that? Isn't it obvious? Because I was peeking. Anyway, so that means Byakuya and Toko were together at the time. Meaning they also have alibis. And the only ones who don't have alibis for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked are... the only two we haven't seen yet. Hiro and Taka. That's it, right?
Very strange.
By the way, what happened to Kyoko? I haven't seen her anywhere. Yeah, we still haven't found her. She was supposed to be checking the second floor, but I didn't see her up there at all. Or could she have disappeared too? She's disappeared, huh? What a strange woman.
So that's...
She might be exactly as I suspected. Hold on. Kyoko was with us in the dining hall when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked, so... I'm not talking about who attacked them. Huh?
In other words...
I'm referring to what we talked about last night. Who the mastermind spy might be. Are you saying Kyoko's working with the mastermind? That's not possible.
What?
Isn't it? This woman who seems almost eager to handle dead bodies hasn't even revealed her true identity.
Hey.
Save this discussion for later. Right now we need to focus on finding this suspicious individual.
Okay.
Yeah, if we don't hurry, there's only going to be more victims. That might be why Kyoko and Taka and Hiro haven't shown up yet. He's right, we have to do something about that mystery man first. Don't worry about me, I'll catch up with you guys after I rest for a bit. Understood, take care of yourself.
Well then.
Okay, let's go. So whoever is running around, why are they wearing that weird costume? Don't bother looking for a reason from a deviant.
What to do?
Oh, what are we gonna do? Split up and look around? I can't believe that this girl's being helpful. Like, she's a team player right now? Like, it's so weird. Our opponent is very dangerous. We don't know what they're capable of, even here.
What?
What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs. Really? Up on the second floor, then. You won't get away from me. We all shot toward the stairs. He must be around here somewhere. Let's split up and corner him.
Well.
Don't take any chances. As soon as you find him, call out and I'll come running.
Oh,
Okay, but what should we yell?
just a second.
Anything, it doesn't matter. Then is huh okay?
What are you saying?
Or dohya, or whatever you want. Just yell loud enough so we can hear you. Dohya. I have never heard such a reaction. Okay, whatever. Just hurry up and start looking, okay? Let's go. Hey, Mr. Robot, where you hiding? You don't come out, we're gonna decommission ya. You spread out in every direction to track down the costume suspect. Okay, we can't go in here. That's fine. Nothing. That strange cry. That had to be Celeste. It came from the floor above. She's on the 3rd floor. I sprinted up to the 3rd floor.
Everyone.
Over here, everyone. Everyone who heard the scream had come running.
Just a second.
Celeste, what's wrong?
What?
That was rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. He must be down this hall. Come on, let's go. What is it now? Oh. Okay, so sneezing makes you go back and forth.
Huh?
Wow, it really is true. But that doesn't matter right now. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we gotta go back.
What?
What about the suspect? We've gone all this trouble to capture him, right? Why don't we split up into 2 groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems more interesting. Very well, then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I'll leave the capture to the suspicious individual, to Toko, Sakura, and Byakuya.
So then.
We'll handle it. Just go take care of Hifumi. Okay, you guys be careful. With that, we split into 2 groups. Me, Celeste, and Hina all ran downstairs to the 1st floor.
Just a second.
He's in the nurse's office. Let's go. We stormed into the nurse's office, and what greeted us was a world of dripping crimson. Oh no, is he dead? Okay. He's dead now. Everything was covered in red. And in the center of all this red was Hifumi?
No!
It looks like something very bad has happened. I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered. Okay, so biggest suspects right now are Hiro and Taka.
No way!
Murdered? You're not serious, are you? He's not really dead, is he? Okay, yeah, 3 people found the body, so it's gonna begin.
A body has been discovered.
Alright.
After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
What the? That was the body discovery announcement. The body discovery announcement. When 3 or more people discover a body after a murder, that's what plays. And since we just heard it, that means it must mean Hifumi. Someone killed him. One of us. One of us? Look at that. When Celeste said that, she pointed to something. Something on the floor. Something that also had been on the floor with the other, or after the last 2 surprise attacks. Yep, that hammer. Justice Hammer 3. Another hammer. Justice Hammer 3. It's even bigger than the other 2. Just as I suspected, 1 strike from that and you are finished. And the killer... There can be no doubt the suspicious individual, going by what Hifumi called him. The culprit must be Robo-Justice. Whoever's hiding in that costume is the one that killed Hifumi. But wait, you saw him on the 3rd floor, right? Running back into the hall? So how did he end up in the nurse's office? You're not saying they, like, teleported or something, right?
Are you okay with this?
We can figure out that part later. Right now, we have to tell the others. You're right.
So then...
Then shall we go? Hina, snap out of it. Huh? Are you okay, Hina?
Sorry.
I'm not sure I can move right now. I'm feeling kinda... This is a problem. We can't just leave Hina here alone. Okay, then I'll go get everyone. You stay here with Hina. Very well, I'll leave it to you then. Okay, I'll be back soon. I tried to sound confident and upbeat, but I still hadn't stopped trembling from what I'd just been through. Everyone else is already on the 3rd floor. I have to hurry. This is where everyone is chasing after the suspicious individual. Where was he headed? Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him. A strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. He ran off, going further down the hallway. Way into the back of the hallway? Maybe around here? In the physics room? No one's in here, but the door's open. As far as I can tell, there's nobody here, but still, I feel some kind of presence. Yeah, I'm sure I can feel someone's presence. This presence. Is it coming from over there in the back? Okay, he can sense presences now. I leapt through the doorway, and when I did, I found another nightmare. The second nightmare of the day was waiting there to greet me. Okay, hold up. It's not Taka. There in a pool of his own blood was Taka, dead. That was my... Taka was actually my first guess as to who was the killer. Hifumi's body discovered in the nurse's office. Taka's body discovered in the equipment room. I was witness to two nightmares, one right after another. No, they weren't nightmares. This is harsh reality. The true nightmare is this reality. The reality I have to face every day. But still. Why is this happening? Okay, they got here first. Wait, why are you on the ground? Oh, because you're Toko who can't stand blood. Don't tell me. Toko too? Relax, she just passed out when she saw the blood. The blood? Oh, that's right. When Toko is Toko, she has a fear of blood, right? We've tried everything to get her to wake up, but no luck. Let's just leave her be for now. It's like you said, I should just leave her alone for now. Okay, sure. Is this just this hammer 3 as well, or 4? Another hammer. Now it's just this hammer 4. It's even bigger than before. Is that suspicious individual responsible for killing Taka too?
However...
But why is it just this hammer 4? What do you mean? Celeste was attacked with Justice Hammer 1, and Hifumi was hit with Justice Hammer 2. But this time it was Justice Hammer 4. What happened to number 3? Ah!
What?
What's the matter? Well, when you mentioned Justice Hammer 3, you just reminded me.
What?
Out with it. Do you know something? Actually, Taka's not the only one that's been killed. Hifumi's dead too.
What? Hey!
Hifumi's been killed? Yeah.
I see.
Which is why you came to get us. And we better go check it out. Of course, come on. So Sakura, Byakuya, and I rushed out of the physics room. We're just gonna leave Toko there? Okay, sure. 2 people already dead? Why not a third, I guess. But as soon as we were out of the physics lab...
Oh,
Ah! Celeste, aren't you supposed to be waiting in the nurse's office? Something has come up. Yeah, I heard Hifumi is dead, right?
indeed.
Well, that's not all. It's gone. What's gone? It has disappeared. Disappeared? Hifumi's body has disappeared. What? What are you talking about? It disappeared? Don't be ridiculous.
Come on.
Are you serious?
What?
What is happening here? We're going back to the nurse's office. I practically leapt down the stairs, nearly losing my balance. I reached the nurse's office completely out of breath. Where's Aoi? Where's Hina? Where's Aoi? I'm concerned where she is. And Kyoko. Oh no, Aoi and Kyoko, the ones I spent the most time with, they're gone. Hifumi's body was just there a few minutes earlier. Just disappeared? Okay, Aoi's here. Me and Celeste went to the bathroom, but when we were only gone for like a minute. And then when we got back,
Indeed.
it must be the work of the culprit. It must have come and carried the body away. They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all gonna die here. We're gonna die just like those guys died.
What?
I don't
Did you
believe
say-
this. I don't believe a body would just disappear.
Why?
First there were 2 murders and now one of the bodies has been taken? This is unnatural. What do you mean 2 murders? Oh yeah, they don't know about Taka dead.
Hina.
Taka's been killed. We found him in the equipment room.
No way.
It can't be Taka too. It can't be. It can't be.
Hina.
Hina, calm down. We're all gonna die. All of us. They're gonna kill all of us. And who might the next target be? Toko? Huh?
What?
I completely forgot. She's still unconscious in the equipment room.
Well,
You left her at the scene of the crime? We didn't have a choice. She passed out and she refused to wake up.
huh?
So she's still unconscious.
Damn.
Wait, so you knew she was still up there and said nothing? Why? An annoying little insect that clings to me wherever I go. We'd be better off without her.
Bastard.
Calm down. You forgot about her, didn't you? You have no right to blame me. Everyone stop fighting. Right now we need to hurry back.
Huh?
I can't take this anymore. I don't want anyone else to die. Yakuya, if something happened to Toko, I'll never forgive you. Hey, that's partially your fault. Like, that is partially your fault. Alright. Let's go find Toko. Okay, she's fine. Toko! Wait, Taka's body's gone. Right away, I noticed. There was something very different here. It was gone. Taka's body, which should have been right there, has disappeared. Can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something? No, it's not a hallucination. I know I saw it before. What I'm seeing now isn't what I saw before.
Huh?
Are you saying Taka disappeared too?
Stop talking.
Stop saying disappeared. It didn't just vanish into thin air. Obviously, whoever did this has hidden the body. But why would they do that? I couldn't possibly begin to imagine. Anyway, our costume suspect is clearly continuing his crime spree. We gotta hurry up and catch him before he kills all of us.
Not possible.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Huh?
Huh?
Hmm.
Think about it. Who could possibly be responsible for killing and hiding these bodies?
Well,
When Hyufumi's death cry went up, everyone here was together on the 3rd floor.
it is so.
After that, we split up into 2 groups.
Hmm.
And now this time, you all came here as a group from the nurse's office. In other words, the only ones who could have done this are Hiro and Kyoko, who are still missing. Hold on a second. Kyoko has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. There's no question that she was hiding, or she was in the dining hall with us. You seem very adamant about defending her. Perhaps you're in love? You're right. You are 100% correct. Okay, then Makoto says, that's not it at all.
That's fine.
Well, anyway, yes, I do accept Kyoko's alibi.
Let's
Which means the
see.
suspicious individual we're looking for can be none other than Hiro. Which further means there will be no more murders. The regulations are very clear about that. Oh, that's right. There's a rule that says you can only kill a maximum of 2 people.
That's right.
As long as that rule is in place, there will not be a 3rd murder if they were to break that rule. I'd mince ya without a second thought. Mince ya, grind ya, turn ya into paste. By the way, did you know fish paste can also refer to shellfish, like shrimp or crabs? Indeed.
Let's
So since
see.
2 people have been killed, there is no possibility of any more.
Perhaps.
You knew that from the beginning, didn't you, Byakuya? Which means you knew Toko was never in danger. I still meant it when I said we'd be better off without her, though.
In other words.
Anyway, with that in mind, we can now relax and search for the missing 2 bodies. The 2 missing bodies. 2 people have been killed, and their bodies have been hidden. The only one without an alibi, the only one who could have done it, is Hiro. But is he really the killer? And what about Kyoko? She's not involved in this case. Where did she go?
What?
Hey, Makoto, what's the matter? Nothing. Whatever. We need to find those bodies, or our little narrative here can't move forward.
So
Very
then,
well. Let us split up and begin searching.
But
There's no need to be afraid. No more murders will take place during the case.
'cause
I know that. I think I do, but
Hina.
if you're still nervous, I'll come with you.
Huh?
Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
No need to thank me. Okay, so like, yes, they can only kill 2 people, but isn't it one person can only kill 2 people? What if these people were each killed by a different person? And it's still dangerous. Then let's get moving. Yell out if you find anything. Byakuya left the equipment room, followed by the others. I have to try and find the two missing bodies. Alright. Let's see what we can find. I'm gonna go to the art room first. Maybe the rec room next. Okay, you two. What's up?
Huh?
Where could two dead bodies have disappeared to?
Damn.
We need to search for the bodies that have disappeared. What happens after that? I don't know if there's anything suspicious in this room. Oh shoot, it's locked. Wait, that's usually not locked though. Hold on. That's not locked. Normally. And that it does go to a room of interest. Let's check the rec room next. What the heck just happened? What? Okay. That is the strangest bug I've seen thus far. Okay. We're fine here. Anyone here? There's that hammer again. Yeah, where did the Justice Hammers come from? There's these solo lockers that are scattered around. Despair Squadron, Monokuma. Oh my gosh, hey, what's up?
Come on.
Why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository. Huh? You mean...
Indeed.
I found them. Ifumi and Taka's bodies have both been hidden in the repository.
Goodbye.
I've already told Hina and Sakura. We'll go on ahead. Their bodies were in the repository? Wait a second. I was just there, though. It was locked. Are the bodies here somewhere? Up ahead is the repository. The doorknob turned. I guess it's unlocked. It was locked when I checked there earlier, though. When I entered, I saw... Okay. The two bodies that disappeared were right here. The smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then, I heard the announcement for a second time. It's already time? What?
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
Hold on. And so here we are. Without further ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file. I was going to hand them out when you first found the bodies, but I thought something might happen. It's really hard to resist, but turns out I was right.
Stop talking.
Hand it over already.
Punishment is
Make
waiting
sure
for
to
you.
investigate with all of your mental might and prepare for the class trial.
See ya later.
Now that we've found the bodies, all that's left is to uncover the culprit.
What the heck?
How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know?
That's
Yeah,
terrible.
gone forever. They're never coming back. Awful. This is just too awful. Ina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body. Okay.
Who would do
Large wet tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If this were some world of make-believe, that might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't a movie. What? This wasn't...
He's alive again? Where am I?
What?
So cold.
But Monokuma said he was dead.
Hifumi, wake up! Huh? That's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak. Come on, you gotta wake up! I remember everything before I met you all. I met you all.
His memories are all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The light, it's reaching out to me like the tail of a comet.
I'm trying to imagine it.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name.
Yasuhiro. Oh, shoot. His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute undeniable death. So it's Yasuhiro? No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins? No calcium in your bones? At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return, just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hagakure. That is the only person he could have been referring to.
So, in other words...
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi. And then going so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is?
What is this?
If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way I can ever forgive him. Kill two of our friends.
That's fine.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although, this time it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this, to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. Can't be that easy, right? First, I'd better check the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it?
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could anyway. Maybe.
Well,
There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko?
Perhaps.
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here? Don't be rude. I'm here to answer your question. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial.
speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
You can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
So then,
Are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey,
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder,
Phew.
only one blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
So, in other words,
Then we only need to figure out just who that blackened one is that did the killing, right? Just like normal?
Well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is
extreme!
the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened. So just one person?
Well now.
That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Good luck to all the contestants. So there can only be one blackened. An accomplice wouldn't benefit. I can't see any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true, then... Kyoko, where are you?
However,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
Indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible, but for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
Yeah, it's tough to not think of anyone but Hiro. But the game makes it so obviously him that makes me think it's not him. You know, don't you think we should consider someone as suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. What? I'm offended. When did you... I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl. Milk sack?
You've gotta be kidding!
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
What the heck?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So what? I'm like a special guest suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know. He's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. When the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. She could have pretended, though. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I can calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
so then.
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina?
Hmm.
Sure, I'd be totally useless on the investigation anyway.
it's all clear now.
And that's that. Let's begin. This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. Yeah, this is too obvious. That it's Hiro. And it makes me think that it's not. Feels like a real... Oh, wait! That's where these hammers came from. Could the Justice Hammers have been designed using these as a model? Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Someone wash it recently? Spotless hammer has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? There's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left while the body was moved. Alright. Oh, there's also this dolly. It's a dolly, it doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. But wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? Look at the wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? repository dolly has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. Fumi's big cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office where he was discovered to here, though. Yeah, that's like up 2 floors. All the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. How the hell? No good, I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling something's different? Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. It's his glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? Well, who would do that? And why? Hifumi's glasses have been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. There are many aspects to this incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened. There might be an accomplice because this is so much.
So then.
Would you like my help? Yes. But let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hino, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. Soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the profile or the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo Justice. It also became clear that this Robo Justice had dragged Hifumi away. They're meeting up with Toko and Byakuya. We began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the hallway, or in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, and resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office. What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor. We split up and began searching. And right after that, Celeste screamed. Celeste is the leading... she's leading the events. You saw the shadow. She screamed. It was the first victim that we found. This time she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs. So he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. And then... yeah. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect up on the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I'm thinking the announcement was for Taka's body when Toko Byakuya and Sakura found it. I don't think Hifumi was dead at this time. Because the announcement played a second time. But then again, he wasn't dead yet. Was he? Hold on. How far can I go back in the log? I can check this. When was the second announcement? I need to check this log. I thought it was weird that a second announcement played. Body has been discovered. Okay. Okay, then he came back. What? He wasn't dead. I don't know. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the third floor to tell the others what had happened.
However...
But at the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. Which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. I don't think Hifumi was dead. When we first saw him. That's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? You, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. As soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who had just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body has disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone. Then we remembered that we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. Did Hifumi's blood pile, did it have drag marks like this? This time, Taka's body had disappeared. So from there, we began our search for both of the missing bodies. And after some time, Celeste told us she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository. And there we rediscovered the two bodies that had apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now.
However...
Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime. Lee, what do you have to say about this?
So,
I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up and look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
but...
We came right to the repository to, you know, look around. When we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked? We came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. If that's true, then locked it, and why is it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in here. I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. Who unlocked the door? Who found the repository bodies?
Byakuya, do you really think Hiro did it?
Hmm.
I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, each one of us had an alibi. The last thing Hifumi said when he died, they said Hiro's name.
So in other words...
So there's no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume?
Hmm.
Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kind of dumb. Do you really think that's enough explanation, or that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
What?
And is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no, there are a few things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why did they bother killing 2 people?
What?
Because all the rule says is, if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your #1 priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on, perhaps I see, so that's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with the attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? Is he dead, like, now? Yeah, how did this body got moved? Does that mean someone wiped his glasses clean? Who would do that, and why? And Taka was moved, I'm assuming, placed onto the tarp and dragged. Alright, we're leaving. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from in the art room. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. The door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, somebody had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. That certain someone, okay, can only be locked from the inside. Nurse's office, equipment room. Let's go to the equipment room first because we're on the same floor for now. I feel like it'll be an easier time for us to just teleport to the nurse's office. If we even have that option. Even then, it's right next to the stairs, so it should be fine. Plus, I have a run button, so I'm not too concerned. Okay, Toko's here. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. Super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event. This tarp. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, just recently too. These have wheel marks on it. There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. It reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There's blood on its tire. Could that blood have come from here? which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. What if the dolly was used to move Taka's body? What about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with a dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor. It's still a total mystery. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. Can I check on that tarp again? In the art room. I want to see if I can make that a clue. Can I select the tarp? Nah, unfortunately I cannot. I can select the body. How about the dolly again? That ain't the dolly, man. Yeah, and the glasses. I made a note that the glasses aren't bloody anymore. Okay, we're connecting that dot with each other. Can we go to the nurse's office, maybe? This one did not have any drag marks. Justice Hammer 3, the one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body, but left the weapon behind. What are you investigating, Celeste? I'm not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I am simply going around seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
Let's see.
How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes.
Correct.
indeed.
Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. When you got back, the body was gone? We could have not been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time.
Indeed.
It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... Can't think of anything less than impossible. Yeah, that is... weird. There's this thing. Fridge. A refrigerator, I wonder if there's anything to drink inside. After everything I've been through, I'm totally parched. Maybe just a quick peek. Blood packets? Okay. Blood. 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 There's blood. Hold on. Hold on. Not necessarily just for transfusions. Can be used as something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. A glasses cleaning cloth. Some kind of character cartoon. It's also covered in blood.
Oh.
You find something? Yeah, there's a cleaning cloth in the trash can.
Huh?
Cleaning cloth. It's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Me either. I think it might be important. Glasses cleaning cloth has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. What gets me is this. Blood packet. I think this death was fake. This one right here. The announcement was for Taka. And he might have died later on, but... This is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I want to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hiro's room. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet me in the dining hall. This is the note Hiro wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember it well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear.
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
Meet in the dining hall. He said go to Hiro's room. But what's waiting for me there? Alright, let's head over, I guess. Alright, Hiro, let's see. What's your deal? Door's unlocked? I guess I can go inside. Yakuya did say to go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. Oh shoot, this place is personalized. This is Hiro's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Where do you even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up. Which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? Check the bed. Normal bed, pretty much like the one in my room. I think there's something in the cardboard box. Oh! It's blueprints for something, and... something's made out of... it looks like cardboard, plastic, and plaster? Is this Robo-Justice? It's in Hiro's room. But wait, these blueprints. Something about them bothers me. That's not his handwriting. I mean, okay, wait, this is his handwriting. But the note was not his handwriting. I soundlessly checked the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty grungy, though. How does the bathroom even get this dirty? We can't check the cards, okay. Makoto, big news, big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko! What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news.
Just a second.
Robo-Justice showed up too. Robo-Justice? It's Hiro wearing the costume.
Okay.
Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. I think Hiro and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could. Okay, what's going on? What is going on? Where were you?
I mean...
Man, I had the worst day. Hiro? Hiro?
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
Makoto.
duh. Who else would I be? That's a good question. What? Why do I look like this? Did someone come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati? What?
Right.
I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool room locker. Looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be mean.
Still can't believe you kicked me. You could have been a little more gentle about it, like, I don't know, caress my face or something.
What?
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? Just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace.
Well,
There's something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind.
it's nothing.
Never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, he says that, but does she have an idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind? First of all, Hiro, you need to explain us why you're dressed like that.
I mean,
I have no idea. One second I was asleep. Don't even know how that happened. Then I woke up, and then I was here. I don't care. Do something about the costume. It pains me just to look at you.
Huh?
Well, I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid freaking thing.
It would seem...
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. Looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hiro out of the suit. It took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Free at last. Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hiro?
So
More
then,
to the point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume. Hold on a sec.
honestly,
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room too.
is that okay?
In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made this costume. True, I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it be...
Then it's obvious the one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone
That's terrible!
was Hiro. Shall we tie him up and gag him?
Just the
Good
worst.
idea. We don't want him killing anyone else. Tie me up? Hold on, guys. I think that's going a little far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah, I mean, hacking? Blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
What the heck?
You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided you killed them. What? Killed who? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake Hiro running around.
What are you saying?
It's not Hiro. Too easy if it was Hiro. That's the same thing that Byakuya said. It was too easy. Or too boring, in his words. Who else could possibly be the costumed attacker? How do you know if I'm the one? Or I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me.
Okay.
Fine, if you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a bit. Ina started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
Huh. See? Look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
And not to mention... You totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
You didn't make it.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again.
Ah.
Well, now you're all out of excuses. No, see, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Okay. It's my will. I picked up the pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. No good. The arms are too long. There's no way I can wear this.
Just a second.
See, I told you. It was impossible. You're absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly.
But
There's another costume. You must have one that looks the same, but fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of evidence, then show us some evidence. Or, if you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
what the heck?
Evidence. Claim there's another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. What the heck?
Just the worst.
Who cares? Hiro's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
That's terrible.
Which is how we know it was him.
What?
I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Did someone, like, tell me? I don't think it's Hiro. It's too easy if it's him.
What the heck?
There's no talking your way out of this one. You did it. Everyone knows it. What do you think, Yoko? It looks like she's lost in thought. I don't think she's in the mood to talk. I'd better leave her alone.
What the heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey, Makoto, who was it? Well, 2 people were killed, Taka and Hifumi. What? 2 people?
Just the worst.
Or are you freaking out? You did it. I did not. Hold on. Those 2 are the ones that were killed.
How about that?
That's it, I know who did it.
So then,
Might as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over Alter Ego, right?
I'm at least
Which means
30% right.
Alter Ego and or Chihiro must have done it.
correct.
I see, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate.
What the heck?
Stop trying to trick us. Just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong.
Oh,
I know,
so-
that note. Note. Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. Here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find it. Or, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. The last thing I remember is going to the rec room, and then for some reason I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the worst.
Not a chance.
So,
I think that's what happened. Hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that. Really? I told you, someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage, a chance to escape. Someone wrote all that to trick me. Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped here for so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it.
Just a second.
Okay, then show us that note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my pocket.
No
Looks like I
way.
lost it. Yeah, sure. Please, you gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must provide evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. Heck, we're serious? Yasuhiro's account has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. I don't think it's him. I don't think it's him. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it.
What the heck?
Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, Hiro. It's like I said.
Just the worst.
Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broken, that's why. Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me. Help me. Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you. If you have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right? You're right, I need to look for the second suit and that note. You don't fail me now. I guess I'd better get back to guard duty. I was gonna ask Toko or Genocide Jack to switch with me. But if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away.
Makoto,
Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? I want you to help me with the investigation.
it would seem...
Looks like I got a late start on this one, so I might need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. You reject me so simply.
Anyway,
Anyway, I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay.
shall we go?
Thanks. Now then, shall we?
Hey,
So, Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses? I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me.
correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Hey,
Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer?
anyway,
We have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. Then I guess we should head that way for now. Alright, to the second floor. I mean the third. We're on the second floor. I still wonder why she was missing. Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid, but only for a moment.
so then,
Let's get started. He crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies.
I knew it.
The Monokuma file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable. Anything you would like to
I
add?
see.
Makoto, I found something. You did?
Hey,
You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did?
whew,
Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. Anyway, you said he had a watch?
So then,
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. So that's almost... That's like right before 5 o'clock. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, right before 5 o'clock, I was right. You notice... Wait. Just pass it. Oh, because I'm looking at it in a different way. Okay. Yeah, okay. I was looking at it upside down. Okay. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6.
that's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. How long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls. Which means...
In other words,
6 a.m. Meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning. Broken wristwatch has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook.
however,
And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. It appears to be gripping something. Right, there's something white in there.
Makoto,
You try and pry it out? Me?
because
Rigor mortis has already said it. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. Piece of paper.
hey,
Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko turned to Hifumi's body.
So then,
Check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he left us a few clues of his own. Alright. Your turn. The biggest problem I have right now is how the killer was able to move Hifumi's massive corpse from the nurse's office where he was discovered to here, the repository, all the way from the first floor to the third, all without anyone noticing it. I just can't see how that's possible. Further, it seems that Hifumi died from a blow to the head. He was most likely killed during Justice Hammer 3, or using Justice Hammer 3, which we found in the nurse's office, but when we found his body in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now they're spotless. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses clean? Well, who would do that, and why? So did you find anything?
Indeed.
I did, more than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper.
that's right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden.
Indeed.
He stuffed it in his pants. So I can only assume he hidden it on purpose, you see. His pants. Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It's just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey,
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto. Open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like, it better be important. Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. That's the note that Hiro is talking about. That says 6 a.m. though. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
so...
That sounds very familiar. That's it. That's the same thing Hiro said. He was telling us the truth.
However,
Although it's not exactly the same, is it?
Um...
Weird note. Whole escape rec room at 1. The time is different. And the place.
is that right?
Because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him.
So...
Part of it's been torn off, right? I think there's some... That's where Taka died. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped. Could you maybe explain it a bit more? Think carefully.
Hey,
Why would he have been clutching that paper so tightly? I have no idea.
so then...
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. The note Hifumi had.
Hey,
While we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-books, or e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
is that
If you
right?
didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role, I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I better keep it in mind. Okay. Is that it? Is that time already?
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school.
Alright, same place.
See you soon!
Okay, let's see what's gonna go on. It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest of for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
We better get going. Okay. Right. It's gonna be a lot less of us in this room. Yeah, well. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation. They were gathered by the red door. As soon as we were all there. Ooh, what? This is the first time we're seeing more than one, right? He's multiplied? Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma?
Whew.
We just get on the elevator already.
Boy.
You're not playing along. We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Fine.
Hey.
And if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train. Elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
I just think there are multiple Monokuma models.
Please.
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, Hiro. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
Alright, Aoi's already convinced that it's Yasuhiro. I told you already, I didn't do it, for serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume or the note? Well, no, but how unfortunate. It would seem we have our culprit.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
He's right. Let's get down there first, then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. Not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door slid open, opening up to a cruel fate. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cool things to each other?
What?
Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would not be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seat. And so the curtain opened up once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. Deadly class trial. Alright, alright. It's going down. Alright, that's all I got. I don't know if I'm able to miss any clues, but hopefully I have everything I need. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
This
I
is...
didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Okay, wow, even
Who
her.
are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit. The
Why was
evidence
his
is
room
quite
unlocked?
Compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
I really like her accent, though.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know, I don't know!
I feel like Hiro is a victim here. Before anything else, you have to make that clear. Make your argument.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true, it's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is on. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Hiro's handwriting is not the same.
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof.
No, that's wrong.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone
The
to meet up
handwriting
after
doesn't
alter ego
match. The
disappeared.
blueprints and the note.
The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
I'm inclined to believe that.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he is not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
What? Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit?
I still think that Hiro was in that Robo-Justice suit.
Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to
So?
me.
Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
It is Hiro, but it's not as you think. It is Hiro.
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime
That's not.
suspect.
That's
That
not.
doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious
Yes.
individual in the suit,
As he
but
says.
he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in
Yup.
the Robo-Justice
Yup.
suit.
He's right.
Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
If this is true, then all fingers point to Celeste.
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using
Yeah, the dolly and the
particular
tarp.
items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
The dolly. Let me start with the dolly because I'm sure that was one of them. Dolly. There's still one more thing. Okay, yeah, the tarp.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame
Why are you
in
throwing
being
everything at me,
no
dude?
one expects much from you anyway.
Oh gosh, come on. I've solved the past two.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand
What are you?
around you.
Come on, be real. I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean, but maybe I can change your mind. The wheels on the bloodstain. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. Yeah, let's hear new element. Reloading. Oh gosh. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the temple marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. From now on, just locking and pressing the white button won't be enough to handle them. It will cost you one bullet to destroy a single remark. Reload by pressing X, okay. Okay, that's fine. Alright, sure.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong.
Oh, this is tough.
I cannot agree.
Oh, shoot, what's the button for...
So pathetic.
Oh, that's what that is.
Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
What are the controls again? Controls, Fever time, okay.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic.
Okay. I barely got that.
I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
I barely won that. The reloading really got me.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
The
When
wheels.
I found the dolly
Yep.
in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
And Celeste is being too aggressive. No. Does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well,
I think she's the
anyway,
culprit.
That was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
Because it's as he says, he was asleep the whole time.
If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit... You can't bend down in that suit. They made a note of that when they were trying it on. What does he mean by that? Right.
As we know, Taka was killed in the
This is
equipment
true.
room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Dang it.
Shoot!
Oh shoot, I'm on little
As
health.
we know, Taka was killed in the equipment, and from there, the body.
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it onto the
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is
You can't bend over.
No, that's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit
Yep,
together.
it's hard to bend over in that. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight. Can't bend at the waist.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
I feel like Celeste was the killer. And... No, Celeste was the mastermind, and Hifumi was the accomplice.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome
I
suit,
like that it's just straight up... Jill. Taking part in this trial, this is funny. On top of that, okay, yeah.
it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about
Yep.
wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
The thing is, they couldn't take off the suit because it was locked. You can't take it off by yourself.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? You didn't make the stupid freaking thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. Looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
Yeah, I think he's a victim.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him
Yeah,
wear it.
he was framed.
Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
I think you're the suspect, Celeste.
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Chesters. Or that's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to
Yeah.
reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it before we rush to a verdict. Shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was. when
Still
everything
curious
went
about
down.
that.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. So we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we
That's how I
split up,
remember it, yeah.
Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
Oko went missing after she went to the 2nd floor.
It seems
After the
I was
initial search.
unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice.
R and J are like painted on.
It also soon
I don't know if
became
that's relevant.
clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi.
How is that
We were soon
possible
joined in our search
when
by
you can
Byakuya
barely
and
move in that
Toko,
thing? I think
and
that
then
was
went on
framed.
to find Hifumi in the library.
That was a framed picture. And Hifumi's in on it.
He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect.
In the nurse's office, there were blood packs.
But not long after leaving the nurse's office,
Wrong. I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the 2nd floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Yeah, Celeste, you're leading the events here. What's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran up. Can he really run, though? I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi. dead.
He wasn't.
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
That announcement was for Toko. Not Toko.
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor
Taka.
to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
Celeste was the one who found all the...
I see.
Who found the
whole thing
rediscovered
sounds
corpses.
Exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation, and from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what. I'm gonna let the whole thing play out. I'm gonna see what they say at the end first.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
That's not true.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
That...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
That's what they want you to think. That's why they're numbered. The Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed
I
with
missed.
Justice Hammer, while Taka's death...
See? So it's
Hold on,
obvious
hold on.
Taka came... So, regarding... I wonder if... Or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
What?
Shoot!
Oh shoot, that killed me. Ah. The one with the most votes is Makoto? Oh, how did that happen? Okay.
Is this...
Yeah, let's give it another shot, of course.
I refuse to give up yet.
So it's what order?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
No. Okay, so I gotta take what order?
Shoot!
So, I wonder if... Or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Shoot.
It's true that
Ah,
Hifumi
shoot, come
killed
on.
Justice Hammer 3.
See? So it's obvious Taka came.
Alright. Bring it back.
So, regarding, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came.
What
last.
order?
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. Hold on. There's no
Yeah,
reason to
okay.
assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the
Yep.
killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. The watch. His watch. Wristwatch. Wristwatch. I'm looking for S. Looking for W. Looking for A. Looking for C. H. There we go.
Now I understand. I got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Hey, you! How long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size.
Yeah,
That way, when we saw how they were used in each
that is a really
we easily
good way to
made
make
that wrong
people assume.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Yeah. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been. Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we've got to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko.
Yeah, Kyoko. I still don't know where she went.
And we all ran down to the nurse's office. And that's where we found his body.
Is Kyoko gonna reveal where she was?
Clear!
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Oh, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment
Yep.
room the whole time.
Wait,
That's
then
another
what if
detail.
Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body, because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible
As a serial
that any
killer,
of us could have killed Hifumi. Or
it's hard to
moved
not
either of their
believe her.
bodies.
Because she's so blunt. and open about herself.
On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
Yeah, Kyoko has
So
to
what
reveal
now,
where she
Kyoko?
was.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
Yeah, it's such a heavy body to move.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time. Would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Yeah. This was my thought. I do not think that Hifumi was dead. At least in that initial
The dead body
situation.
moved on its own?
No!
It's not as you think. That's not that. It's not Ghost.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is
Hifumi wasn't dead.
we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He's an accomplice.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
Yeah.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was alive. Is it really possible? How is broken wristwatch a thing?
Are you saying that when we first found
I think I have to
Hifumi in
take
the
another
nurse's
bullet.
office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
Okay, she's
And you
been...
know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
No.
Are we really so sure?
No.
The announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Okay, hold on.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
I think I have to
Hifumi
take...
was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery and Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about
A dead
that?
body had been found,
Maybe
but not
the announcement was
Hifumi's.
intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Ah, shoot. Hold on. I don't know how to mix these together right.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is
He was actually
impossible.
still alive.
Hifumi was dead. And you know that how? Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I was late. I'm sure yeah.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's
know the
office,
combo.
there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead. Without and you know that how? Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement.
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal
Did I just do
someone
this?
else's
No.
discovery.
Yes. Hold on.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No,
He was actually still alive.
Hifumi was dead. Without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, that doesn't work. Hold on. Let me get the first one and then put it on the third
Are
one.
you saying that when we first... There's a chance he was actually still alive?
No.
Let me get to the
Hifumi was
end.
dead, and you know that surely you heard the body. Hifumi's dead body had been, and that is why the.
Are we really so sure that maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's
What?
discovery?
Okay, like that's no combos then. Hold on. Doesn't make sense. Hold on. I know the contradiction, I just don't know the combination of words. And then they all blame Makoto. Yeah, let's give it a shot.
I refuse to give up yet.
I already know that Hifumi's body... Or if Hifumi was alive.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi...
Why use broken wristwatch on the third?
There's a chance he was...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is why the.
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
No. Wait, okay. Am I able to loop back with Kyoko's
Are you saying that when we first found
statement? Because I didn't know I could do that.
Hifumi was dead, and you know that surely you heard
Like
the
I
body
could go all the way to
Hifumi's
the end
dead,
and bring it to the
that is
beginning.
Are we really so sure that maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery?
Can I take that? Someone else's. Oh, okay, I can. Yeah, I did not know that.
There's a chance he was actually still alive.
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead. Without it.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement of Hifumi's dead body had been found.
What? Come on.
The announcement was made.
Come on. Are you
Are we
serious?
really so sure about
Let me get
that?
it again.
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Right. Maybe I gotta get on the right side.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Hold on. I could do that. I just
No.
realized that.
It is impossible. Hifumi was dead. Without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
It was the body of someone else.
No, that's wrong.
It was Taka. We knew this from the start. It was just hard to find the combination of words. Because I didn't know the mechanic of I can bring that statement back around to the beginning.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
And that's why you led us to both at the same time.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
It was for Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
And there was a second announcement.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
Then why was it made again later?
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement. The first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. The second time was when both bodies were rediscovered.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
Body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time. Yeah. Okay.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
But why did he reawaken?
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know!
He spoke.
Because he was super good at playing dead!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
No, he spoke.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
It's Celeste. There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find and show to everyone. He woke up again. Oh, Hifumi's glasses? Okay.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
The glasses.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the trash can was this, the glasses cleaning cloth.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean, and the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's—
Sorry about that, I should be back. Should be back, okay.
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
No, it was real blood. From the
fridge in
fridge.
nurse's
Yeah.
office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
It was Taka himself. He walked up. No way any of us could carry it up.
Shoot!
Wait, what? Hold on. What? Oh. Wait, no. I got it mixed up. I thought they were talking about Hifumi. But no, Hifumi was the one that did it.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Yeah, and it was only lockable from the inside.
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside.
Yep.
Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
One sec.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who'd just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case.
Yep, he was an
He
accomplice.
was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took
Yep.
off of Taka's
That
lifeless
paper.
body?
The note. The thing that Hifumi stole from Taka. Could it be? The note.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What?
In his.
In his...
Are they implying underwear? In his pants, I could also think to mean like pocket, but
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
forget about
that's-
the pants for now.
that's not relevant right
Take a
now.
look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't
Yup.
the same one Hiro got.
Different.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been... I got it!
Taka.
That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection!
Oh,
I don't
what do you
really
got?
understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
Yeah.
Whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Yeah, the nicknames. TikTok and Huffy.
Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No!
Not true. We can confirm the time of death.
No! There absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room,
And that's where we found the body.
Just where Taka was killed.
It all lines up.
I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place, written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Okay.
Someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole
That's
it?
why Taka still had a grip on a piece of the paper.
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
We still have,
I got it!
this.
When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece
It
came
connects.
from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing.
Nah.
In fact, he's still alive.
Nah.
Sorry.
No. No. The announcement
When we found
played.
him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
Celeste was the one that found the bodies.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
She hates her.
Call it a walrus!
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all.
That's a valid point to bring up.
Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room.
The mallet was cleaned. There was a clean mallet.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers.
They didn't have to take a justice hammer. They could have gotten one of the mallets in that room.
Then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance.
That
of
is a
brain
valid
knocking
point,
around
but
the
we
soul of
already
yours
have
after
something
all.
for that.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand.
There's a clean mallet there.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments.
We already know the
and
answer
if
to
the
this.
hammers were already laying around those other rooms.
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue. So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
Yeah, they said
So it
similar.
is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
Similar thing.
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
It was one of the mallets in the room. I already know this. We saw the washed mallet. But yup, that's the one. That's it. We already know.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so free? How did nobody witness them? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
What?
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
That's not true.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Yup.
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd
Yup.
also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that was the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
There's also no benefit when you're dead. So like,
The idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
we did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but it's a really spotless hammer.
Based
think
on
I have
the
to take
rules
something
that have
here.
been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Maybe I have to take 2 murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible.
That is how the...
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In
Let's
this
take the
case,
2 murders.
however, there were 2 murders.
Okay. 2 murders to the impossible. Let's see that.
Based on the rules, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act, assuming the rule holds true, it is...
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, so they
Since there
each
were
take
2 murders, it's at
someone.
least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering.
So initially, Hifumi killed Taka, thinking that he would get away with that. But then, Celeste killed Hifumi.
Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that 2 people could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
Yup.
They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
Yeah, Celeste,
You think
if
so?
you have anything to say
I
about
can't
that.
help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us that 2 murders were the same, that the main was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
Yep, we're still trying to find it. The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end murdered him. And the debates up until now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Yeah, I think it's Celeste.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him,
You have interacted with him before, though.
that I would go within 10 feet of that shit from brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Gosh.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Tell him, Makoto. He's gonna make Makoto do it. What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? Screaming. Encountering the suspicious individual.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
What?
Sorry.
As he said, only
Why would you-
Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes
Gosh,
on
I
the
hate this
costumed individual.
dude.
If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
Yup, she was leading the events here.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
Yep.
And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. To lead us to Taka.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. We have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups.
Yup.
So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Why don't we split into two? Yeah, she was leading the events the whole time.
Well,
She even determined the
if
groups.
Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor. Everything's going according to
That's
plan.
why it was so uncharacteristically loud.
Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
Certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
believe it! Everything, the whole thing was one big act!
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
There was no way for her to have known if she had been a contributor to that.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense, but what is he alluding to? How could she have known Taka was dead?
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened. They must be positively late. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like those guys died.
That, right? Oh wait, I need to get something else for that.
All I said was... They must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be... We are going to die.
Like those guys.
And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
So strange.
They must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be positive. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like...
Yeah. How would you know Taka was dead?
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
Yup.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
You had that framed.
How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist? Simple.
Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other
It was
explanations
framed.
than the one you've
That was a scripted picture.
No.
It was set up.
There is no other explanation.
Other explanations. If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is Hifumi is dragging the suspect away.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Yeah, he was framed from the start.
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. Is that really possible? Make your argument.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling
Oh, did I
idiot is the
miss?
culprit after all.
No way!
Maybe I'm a little late. I think that was it.
You dressed
Rebel
me up in
Justice
that-
costume.
Then you just draped me across- You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said,
Blueprints.
ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, if the person inside the there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Oh, it wasn't it? Let me listen to what he says at the end.
After I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all.
No way!
He couldn't bend at the waist.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight.
No. Hold on. You can't bend at the waist.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
It can't bend. It can't bend.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
You can't bend at the waist seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right. They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate? Don't make me laugh, you idiot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What do you mean, checkmate? So clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Who was it attacking you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him
If he was an
who
accomplice...
attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
That's not gonna help your case.
Don't make any sense.
Yeah.
You're only making things
Yeah,
more
you're only
complicated.
making things
He
worse.
did say Yasuhiro. But are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Hifumi... I don't know.
I got it!
Was that right?
That's right.
Oh,
Our
last names.
He called us all by our last names.
Exactly. I know I heard him
Mm.
say Mr. Naegi more than once so if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal, but he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on.
We don't
There's
actually
one
know
person it
Celeste's real
could
name.
apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her
Exactly.
real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg.
That's not true.
Please stop making me repeat myself over and over again!
Celeste still won't give up, so then do something to make her accept it. Show me your handbook. E-handbook, yup.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that
It would have to be you, Celeste.
You haven't told how many times do I have to say? Name? Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
Let's look at your handbook.
What's wrong? That's it! The handbook!
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please. Just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until Until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again. From the beginning.
Okay, this part.
And shed light on all your
This
crimes,
part, this part.
And that'll bring everything to an end.
Closing argument. They're discussing the plan. With Ikumi. That's not relevant. At 1 a.m., they met. He came in, got ambushed, stuffed his body into the suit to frame him. They got the camera ready. Watch, Taka's watch. Justice Hammer 4. They showed us this picture. Got attacked, brought to the nurse's office. Attacked by Justice Hammer 3. Wait, hold on. This is Justice Hammer 3. This is... Wait, where's Justice Hammer 1? It's fine. They died, or they found the bodies. He brought the body. That?
The killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
They had a deal.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That
They
someone
drugged
they
him,
met
yeah.
with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with
He stuffed them in
they
the...
drugged him, knocked
yeah.
him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit.
They framed everything with a picture.
Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker.
And then
And
Taka.
then finally,
Yep.
at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
And Taka, like, Hifumi was... He did have,
And that's where Hifumi killed him,
motive to kill
making
Taka.
it the scene of
Because
the
he became
first
a
murder.
rival. Because he fell in love with...
The murder weapon
Alter
was
Ego.
Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds
That they were taking place in order of the numbers.
that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned...
I like how the killer is always drawn like that. Like that bald gray.
Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room.
Place the body there.
Wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act.
So that she could get her kill.
Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Celeste Ludenbach.
Celeste. Sorry, you lose.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Okay, so Yasuhiro was...
Taiko?
So,
Yeah.
you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Yeah, you are Yasuhiro. I died like twice. Hey, I still got an A though.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin.
Okay, and you don't have that accent.
Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote.
Okay.
Okay.
We already know.
If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
For Celeste or Taiko. Taiko Yasuhiro. It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Ludenbach, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. How did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Did you use, I knew you'd figured it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice. I'm guessing she has alter ego.
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but... Oh, okay, that's respectable. That's respectable. She didn't give away our secret in front of Monokuma. It was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... Be talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What are you talking about? Okay, Monokuma's still in the dark. Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. Totally out of the loop as usual. How sad.
In other words...
And you're the one that stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, we had our meeting about how it disappeared. I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it. What?
are you okay
It
with
was
this?
Taka. He stole it. What?
So then...
I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. How did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for
Please
me...
forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
As for
He
me...
came to my room last night, unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And that he took pictures. He said if I do not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime, an absolute crime. Okay, so Hifumi was also kind of... No, not really. He also murdered. I mean, I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. Okay.
Most unfortunate.
Straight up. Okay, kill him. Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape. He has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Taka is going to try and kill you. What?
indeed.
So he can keep her to himself. Damn it.
Completely unforgivable.
Honestly.
Can we allow him continue with these barbaric acts? Can we allow him continue? Okay, sure. Absolutely not. How could I? I have to save her.
Actually,
And would you like to join me? Just so happens I've come up with a plan. Huh? I've devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. With that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Ifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. Power of a love. Even a love as twisted as that can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So why'd you make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. Okay, that's it? And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that? Assuming you actually let him live.
Are you okay?
It's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead once someone showed up. I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. And at that point, Hifumi had an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, typical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end...
So you had planned to kill him all along. But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
You sound like Byakuya.
I wonder.
No, he
about
derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. That's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But...
All along, you've been saying how we have to accept living here. Obviously, that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here. I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. You want to know why, huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
There was no way I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
It was all for that dream. What was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. Okay, a castle. That was her dream. And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers / bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every... Okay. What a dream. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing
unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes.
That's right.
indeed.
I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette. You just get executed again. Celeste smiled then. When she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak fake smile is what betrayed her. Y'all done? Okay, let's get rolling. The black can disturb the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
The ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Okay.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
What?
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way.
That's key
Which
17.
is why-
Locker 17?
Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Alright. Well. Game over. Celeste has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Oh, in a in a castle. Like she wanted. The burning of the Versailles witch? They're gonna burn her alive? This is cruel. For sure, like the others. What? What? So she wasn't burned, but she was ran over? Okay. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die. You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope on to the next generation. Though I care about hope, I'll throw it in the trash if you let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. It's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did you get some kind of key-type object from Celeste?
Hey.
So what's the deal with that?
What?
What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Who?
What?
Hey.
Answer me. What did you do to my body? Oh man, oh geez, oh man, oh geez. What do you mean, what did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body. What does that mean? Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. Get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
Okay. Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko. Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
So...
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers. And that means Celeste probably hid it there.
Hey.
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey.
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
So...
You even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please, let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
Well then.
It's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Oh. Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Shall we? Yeah.
So then...
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. As the locker swung open, we saw... Ohayo... Been a while, wasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait a little while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but... Can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do on your own here at the school?
You...
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. Don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
only natural they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No, I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then,
That's fine.
fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see, what I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes. Then I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back, she said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but would Kyoko really be right about this? I think that's enough for now. We already went over 3 hours, like we usually do. I'll save this for next time. Thank you for coming. See you next time. Turn off notifications, it gets annoying, especially if you use Apple Mobile. See you tomorrow. Good night, goodbye, thank you for watching. I'll be back with more Danganronpa.